Alright, so we all know the way that the Suns season ended. We got absolutely torched by Luka Doncic in a Game 7, and the Mavericks destroyed us in blowout fashion. Like, there's not really much else we gotta say about that. But with the Suns competing for a championship and Chris Paul being 37 years old, our championship window's not that big, and I really thought this was gonna be the year. Because in the regular season, we were dominating teams left and right, and we even finished with 64 total wins. But as soon as we got to the playoffs, we struggled against the New Orleans Pelicans, who were in the play-in tournament, by the way, and we barely made it out of that series just to lose to the Dallas Mavericks in 7 games. So it's safe to say this season was a failure. Like, it's cool and all that we broke the all-time franchise record in wins for the regular season, but if you don't get a ring, it doesn't really matter. I mean, just ask Golden State. And I mean, luckily for us too, Chris Paul already said that he's not going to retire and that he's coming back next season, which is kind of obvious because he's making like $40 million a year or something like that. But even with him coming back, with all the rumors and speculations that are getting thrown around right now, I don't think this roster is going to look the same coming next season. And let me tell you why people are thinking this. So in Game 7, we all know everyone on the Suns looked like absolute dog. One of those players who didn't come to play was Deandre Ayton. So in the third quarter of Game 7, Deandre and Monty Williams, who's our head coach, got into a verbal altercation and they needed to be restrained from each other. And according to Skip Bayless, he said that he called Lil Wayne and Lil Wayne told him that Monty Williams got so upset with Deandre that he literally told him that you freaking quit on us. And here's the clip on that.
This, from what I was told, got really ugly. From what our man Lil Wayne told me, he was sitting across and I think he either heard it or could lip read. Monty got so upset with Ayton that he said, you frickin' quit on us. And that led to an exchange where each Monty and Ayton had to be restrained from going at each other.
Yeah.
Like, that's a pretty wild thing to take place. And when Monty Williams was asked why Deandre only played 17 minutes, he said in a pretty stern voice, it's internal. Like, listen to this.
Played 17 minutes tonight, and so he didn't play most of the fourth quarter. Is there any reason why? Is he hurt or
it's internal?
So things aren't really looking too good right now for Deandre Ayton and the Phoenix Suns. And if you go on Twitter, I mean, his name is literally trending. Like, look at this. So the possibility that he might get traded this offseason is pretty high if I had to take a guess. But this might not be a bad thing for the Suns because they might be able to acquire a superstar talent, and we'll talk about that in just a second. And when you look at DeAndre Ayton's options, he only has 2. He could either A, accept his qualifying offer, which I believe is $16.5 million, and if he does that, he's here for 1 more year and then he hits restricted the next upcoming season, but I don't think that's a possibility. And his second option is that he hits restricted free agency, meaning that he could basically go sign with whatever team he wants. And let's just say in this hypothetical, he agrees to like a 4-year, $120 million deal with the Raptors. Since the Suns have his restricted rights, we can match that offer and bring him back with no hesitation whatsoever. And if that's the case, the Suns could then sign and trade him to wherever they want. And a team that I think could be in play for him is the Brooklyn Nets. Now, I know you guys saw the title of this video and you know exactly where I'm going with this, but hear me out. So alongside DeAndre Ayton in free agency this year, we have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, who are most likely going to hit the market. Kyrie is a player option, but I can't imagine he takes that. He's probably going to be seeking a long-term deal somewhere else, if not still in Brooklyn. Like, I can't sit here and act like that's still not a possibility. But Sean Marks said in his exit interview, we're looking for guys that want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, play team basketball, and be available. That not only goes for Kyrie, but everybody else here. Like, I know he went out there and acknowledged that goes not only for Kyrie, but everybody here. But who's the one guy on that team that wasn't available all season long? The answer's Kyrie Irving. Like, you can say this quote's not about him, but it's about him. So let's just say that the Nets don't bring Kyrie Irving back and Kyrie Irving goes elsewhere. How do you think that's going to make Kevin Durant feel? You know, the guy who signed in Brooklyn just to play with Kyrie Irving. Like, he's gonna feel slighted and he's most likely not gonna re-sign back with you because, let's be honest, he's not gonna just want to come back and play with Ben Simmons. Like, I'm sorry, Nets fans, but that's just not the case. Like, Ben Simmons is a really solid player, but he came there for Kyrie. So at the end of the day, if that happens, Kevin Durant is gone. And with DeAndre Ayton being available and Kevin Durant being a free agent, something that kind of makes sense for me is DeAndre Ayton getting traded for Kevin Durant. And you might be hearing that and being like, that is the stupidest thing possible. Like, why would I trade Kevin Durant for DeAndre Ayton straight up? Well, let me tell you, Kevin Durant is an unrestricted free agent. He can go sign wherever wherever he wants. And let's say he wants to go to Phoenix. Well, right now, the Suns don't have the cap space to just go out and sign him, so it would have to be through a sign and trade. And like I mentioned earlier, Deandre Ayton is a restricted free agent, so say he gets signed to a max contract, or the Suns just even give him that max contract, the Suns and the Nets could agree on a sign and trade deal where that the Nets sign Kevin Durant and that the Suns sign Deandre Ayton to make the money match. And we could basically swap them, and if the money doesn't match, we could even throw in another player. Maybe an expiring contract like Dario Saric. So not only would Kevin Durant basically be doing them a favor, but he would also land in the spot he potentially wants to go to. Like, I don't talk to Kevin Durant, so I don't know if he wants to even go to Phoenix. But from what he said in some interviews, I mean, I wouldn't rule out Phoenix, and I would actually consider this the hot spot for him to go. In an interview with CJ McCollum, they were basically talking about their favorite cities to travel to, and Kevin Durant said obviously there's New York, LA, like it's the best. But Phoenix? Phoenix is the one I love a lot. I like Phoenix. The Scottsdale area is dope. That's a pretty interesting quote, isn't it? And not only that, he has stated on multiple occasions that Devin Booker is his favorite player to watch in the NBA and that he is a beautiful game. He said he is a pretty game for one. I just think he's really mastering who he is right now. He's figuring it out, like how to play at an elite level and still win. He's always scoring the ball, but he knows how to win. Lots of people look at him because he's just such a pretty scorer and he can do things so effortless. But he's a savant. He wants to be an all-around basketball player. And he was also pushing the Devin Booker for MVP agenda this year. He said D-Book is the MVP of the NBA with as consistent as he's been. He's faced injuries, he's come back, he hasn't missed a beat. Their team has continued to win, they're leading the NBA in first place by a long shot, and it's gotta go to Devin Booker as my MVP. So not only is he on the record of saying that Phoenix and Scottsdale is his favorite travel city, but he's also a big fan of Devin Booker. So I mean, the stars are kind of aligning if you ask me. But obviously a lot of things have to fall in place for this to even happen. Like Kyrie Irving has to not get a contract offer from the Nets. Kevin Durant has to want out. The Suns and the Nets have to come to an agreement on a trade that involves Kevin Durant and most likely DeAndre Ayton. But I legitimately think this is a real possibility. And Flex from Jersey, who's a pretty reliable Suns insider, like he's not like an official insider, but he's pretty spot on with the things he says. He said it's going to be a pretty interesting offseason in Phoenix. I'm told the Suns will have a unique opportunity to land a true superstar, not star, superstar who wants to be in Phoenix with Booker while allowing CP3 to take a lighter load as a third option at 37 years old. Right place at the right time situation for the Suns. And you see the key words right here. Superstar who wants to play with Devin Booker. And we were just talking about that, and this just so happens to fit Kevin Durant as well. So all I'm saying is that if Kevin Durant ends up in Phoenix, not only am I going to lose my mind, but I wouldn't be super surprised about it. I mean, I'm making this video for a reason. I'm pushing the Kevin Durant to Phoenix agenda. Like, this is going to happen. You just got to put it into existence and you just let things go. Just let it happen. But at the end of the day, this is all just rumor and speculation, and I'm just throwing this out there. I'm just out here making a prediction because I'm sick of seeing the Suns go out this way. Like, I need the Suns to win a championship, and Kevin Durant would help us do that. But with that being said, that's pretty much gonna wrap up today's video. I want you guys to let me know down in the comment section below how you guys think about this proposed trade. Am I crazy in thinking this is even realistic? Or do you guys think this is something that could actually happen? Make sure to let me know down in the comment section below. And also, if you guys are new to the channel and enjoyed today's video, consider hitting that subscribe button. I typically post a lot of NFL related content, but I'm going to be posting NBA content here and there. So if you're a fan of either of those, this is the perfect channel for you. But like I said, that's all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.